Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for Finding Nemo. Right before Finding Dory comes out, might as well watch Finding Nemo. This movie stars the voice acting talents of Albert Brooks, Ellen DeGeneres, Alexander Gold, William Dafoe, Brad Garrett, Allison Jenny, Austin Pendleton, Stephen Root, Vicki Lewis, John Ranft, Jeffrey Rush, Andrew Stanton, Elizabeth Perkins, Nicholas Brad, Bob Peterson, Barry Humphries, Eric Bana, Bruce Spence, Bill Hunter, Lulu Ebling, Jordan Renft, Erica Beck, Eric Sullivan, and John Ratzenberger. So yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, my jaw kind of hurts because I just got wisdom teeth removed. It's hurting a bit right now. I'll probably take my medication after this. Off topic. So yeah, that's more than 10 seconds. So for those who have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already, and are still here, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. That never give me a fair warning because as usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So Finding Nemo, basically you have Nemo, he's this clownfish, and it's just him and his dad. And during the first day of school, he goes on a field trip to the edge of the reef, and there he sees a butt, which is actually a boat. And he goes to touch the boat, and then he's captured by fishermen. And now you have Marlin, his dad. You have his dad Marlin and Dory, who's just this fish he kind of encountered, and they are now both trying to find Nemo. On the flip side, you have Nemo, who's in this fish tank, who's trying to escape the fish tank because he knows Darlo, the dentist's evil little brat, is gonna fucking kill him. So, yeah. Now, straight up, probably a bit controversial right here, but when you actually think about it, is Darlo really a villain? Think about it. I mean, okay, yeah, sure, she shakes the bag to the point of death, but I feel like that's something most kids do. I just feel I'm really thinking when you actually think about it, and they've done this with other movies, but like sometimes they're villains. They're not really villains. Their actions may seem villainous, but that's because we're looking at it from the perspective of the main characters. And maybe the villains are actually just doing normal everyday stuff that they would do in their daily lives. I mean, sure, yeah, she does kill fish, and she is terrible, but I don't feel like she's all that villainous. She's as villainous as they made her out to be. So yeah, I mean, a quick example of this would be Sid from Toy Story. Like, he's just playing with his toys. I mean, sure, he's blowing them up, and that's a bit psychotic, but for Sid, you kind of have to see where he's coming from. He's coming from a broken family and a broken home. I mean, it kind of makes sense that that's how he's going to cope with it. But aside from the point, I just kind of thought of that randomly right now. Okay, now the animation is stunning. It's beautiful. I heard I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's a report or whatever, but apparently when they were doing this and when they were doing the animation for the water alone, not DreamWorks, Pixar or Disney or whoever ran the company at that time, the president of the Disney / Pixar company, told them to dumb it down because the water seemed so realistic to the point that it kind of seemed, it was so realistic. They were like, okay, we're not going for that big of a. That's way too realistic. Come on, make it at least seem a bit animated. Like, so that was kind of funny in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, the animation as a whole is great in my opinion. I mean, there are a few things that I would say could have been enhanced. And by what I mean by that, it could have been slightly better, but I think that's just due to the times. I like the nod to Jaws with Bruce the shark. If you guys don't get it, the animatronic shark. The robotic shark they used the robotic shark they used in the Jaws movies, they called it Bruce. So I kind of liked how they called the shark Bruce here. That was kind of funny. So yeah. Also another thing, and actually, and it wasn't even. Another thing I didn't even realize, and I think I realized this maybe a few years ago. that was that Dory was a female. Like I never even thought that. Like I think I knew that he was voiced or she was voiced by Ellen DeGeneres, but I just never thought it could be a female. I always thought Dory was a guy. So it wasn't until a couple years ago where I was like, oh shit, Dory's a girl. Okay. So yeah, I mean overall this movie's great. It's well written. I like the story. You know, we have Marlin. He's trying to get back to his son. And they are both trying to find a common ground because you have Marlin who's always so uptight and he can never let go, whereas Nemo he's so loose that he kind of needs to restrain himself to some extent. And by the end of the movie, you do have Martin who kind of lets go a bit at the end, you know, letting him go off on field trips and letting him rescue the rest of the fishes who are trapped in that net. But at the same time, you have Nemo who is able to restrain himself. Again, at the end of the movie, he's able to hug his dad, saying that he loves him and all that good stuff. And when at the beginning of the movie, he's like, "Yo, get away from me, get the fuck out of here." So I do like how they kind of found common ground. Dory, I will say I am kind of surprised that they decided to do a Finding Dory. I mean, yeah, sure, it could work. And the plot they have for it, you know, where she remembers stuff and whatever, is pretty great. I just never really thought of it. I was always thinking like, okay, story done. And for me, it wasn't really like Toy Story where I think there could have been a future with it. Like for me, Finding Nemo, like, okay, story done. You found your family, good for you. What's next? I mean, maybe find your wife who was maybe eaten at the beginning of this film, but that's it. So yeah, I mean the voice acting is great as a whole. Ellen DeGeneres probably the best voice actor in this movie. William Dafoe as Gil, didn't even realize that was William Dafoe. Eric Bana's in this movie apparently, which is pretty cool. He was one of the sharks. I mean, yeah. Overall, there are some pretty funny scenes, especially with the little pelicans who go my when they're trying to eat the crab, for example, or like Dory and Marlin. I mean, there are some pretty funny scenes. Overall, still a great movie. It's a great movie. It's not my favorite Pixar film. I'll say that much. It's not my favorite Pixar film. It is one of my favorites, but it's not the best in my opinion. However, it still has a charm. It still has a comedy, and it has everything that a Pixar film should have. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, still a great movie, and yeah, and dude, Crush is awesome. So yeah, it's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.